Hello students, in this video lecture we will study about digital multiplexing. So before starting to the actual point, you should know the meaning of word multiplexer. So basically multiplexing, it's a way of sending multiple signals or streams of information, you may say, over a single communication link. Okay, it means it is going to share the resources. So the process of combining the data streams is called as multiplexing, and basically you're going to need some hardware for this. That hardware required will be called as multiplexer. This multiplexer will be used at a transmitter side, and the reverse process will be carried out at the receiver side, and there the process of demultiplexing is carried out, and the hardware required is demultiplexer. Okay, so in this way we will just see the introduction first. So what is digital multiplexing? Digital multiplexing is the process of combining multiple number of digital signals into one or single signal over a shared medium. Okay, so here as it is a digital multiplexer, the topic which we are going to see is a digital multiplexer. So here I am saying that it's a digital signal which will be the input. Okay, so all these inputs will be combined on a single channel. So thus a multiplexer merge inputs bit from different sources into one single for transmission via a digital communication system. So in short, I will just say that it is many to one converter, and here as our input signal is digital, we are calling it as a digital multiplexer. Okay, so coming to the next point, so how the process of multiplexing is being carried out, it will be represented by this simple diagram. Okay, so multiplexing process representation using diagram. Now here this block is called as a multiplexer. So this is a transmitter side. Okay, and here you can see this three users are there, user 1, user 2 and user 3. So these are the sources of information, that means they are going to transmit the information, and here you can see one switch is there. Okay, and this is a single communication link we have, or you may say as a channel, you may call it as a channel over which the data is going to flow. Okay, so here you can see some blocks are there where 3, 2, 1 and so on is written. So what exactly is going to happen in this process? Okay, it is going to combine the multiple signals and then it is going to transmit over a common channel. Okay, now see here this switch is pointing towards the user 1. It means whatever is the data which user 1 want to transmit will be there on the channel, that is this one. Okay, then you have to move this switch to user 2 so that whatever data is available with user 2, that will be transmitted, and that is nothing but this 2. And when the switch moves to the user 3, user 3 is eligible for transmission of information, and that is nothing but 3. So see, for different instance of time, you have user 1, user 2 and user 3 sending their information. Okay, this is called as the process of multiplexing. Okay, so here you can see the process of combining multiple signals and transmitting over a common channel. We have combined these multiple signals over a single or a common channel, which is represented by this simple diagram. Then there are some goals of multiplexing processes basically. So to send the multiple signals simultaneously, as we saw in this diagram, it is going to send the multiple signals simultaneously. This is the first goal of multiplexer. Then it reduces the cost of transmission, because here only a single channel is used or a single link is used for transmission. And to make effective use of available bandwidth, this is the most important advantage of multiplexer, that it makes the effective use of whatever bandwidth is being utilized. Then coming to the next point, what are the types of multiplexers? So basically there are different types of multiplexers. So here you can see the broad classification of multiplexers. So multiplexers are classified into different categories. The first bifurcation is analog multiplexer and digital multiplexer. Then you can see that analog multiplexer is further classified as frequency division multiplexing, that is FDM, and wavelength division multiplexing, WDM, whereas digital multiplexer is classified into time division multiplexing, that is TDM, whereas TDM is further classified as synchronous TDM and asynchronous TDM. So in short, we will just see all this. Actually, we are only interested in digital multiplexers as far as our syllabus is concerned, but just have an overview of this. Okay, so we got an idea what the multiplexer is going to do. It is nothing but many to one converter, so such that we can transmit the information from different sources over a single communication channel. So first is analog multiplexer. Basically, it is a technique which involves signals which are analog in nature. Okay, so as we know, our signals may either be analog or digital in nature. So the signals whose information is analog in nature, that type of multiplexers are called as analog multiplexer, where analog signals are multiplexed according to their frequency division multiplexing, that is FDM or WDM. So what does this analog multiplexer tell us about? It is only used when your signal is analog in nature, and it can either be that is either your information may be in frequency or in wavelength division multiplexing. So if you are using FDM, okay, frequency is used to combine the stream of data for sending them over a communication channel. So you may have one example for this, that is television transmitter. Okay, on television transmitter, basically we send number of channels are there, okay, which are sent through a single cable. You can see your television is having number of channels over a single communication link or cable, you may say, whereas WDM is nothing but wavelength division multiplexing. Here the data streams are of different wavelength and are transmitted in light spectrum. So in case of wavelength division multiplexing, as your wavelength increases, your frequency is going to decrease. It has an inverse relationship. So example for this wavelength division multiplexing, as it is related to wavelength, we may have light. Okay, and basically which cable carries light is nothing but an optical fiber cable. Okay, so optical fiber cable is the best example for this WDM, where different wavelengths are merged into a single light for communication. Okay, coming to the next part, that is a digital multiplexer. So digital multiplexer, it means that your signals will be digital in nature. So digital represents discrete bit of information. So this technique is used to transmit a signal over a single communication channel by allotting one slot for each message. Okay, and it is classified as TDM, that is time division multiplexing. That is, suppose if you have different users. Okay, so like in this diagram we saw, we were having 3 different users. Okay, each user will be given a certain instant of time for transmission. Like in this case, user 1 is given this much time. Okay, user 2 is having this time, and same for user 3. This can transmit the these users can transmit the information only for that particular instant of time. It is called as time division multiplexing. It is further classified as synchronous TDM and asynchronous TDM. So what is synchronous TDM? The input is connected to frame. If there are n number of connections, then the frame is divided into n time slots. Okay, so one slot is allocated for each input line, and here basically the sampling rate is common for all signals, and hence the same clock input is given. So it allocates same time slots to each device at all the time. Synchronous means all the operations happen at a same time. Okay, and asynchronous TDM means the sampling rate is different for each of the signal, and a common clock input is not required. Okay, whereas here we were requiring a common clock input, but in this case it is not required. Okay, if the allocated devices for a time slot transmits nothing and sits idle, then that slot is allotted to the other device. It means if right now in case of asynchronous transmission there is nothing for transmission, it means if there is no information for transmitter and it is ideal, it is sitting ideal, not doing any work, so it can give its time for other device which is having some data for transmission. Okay, so basically we will see one diagram in detail for time division multiplexing. Okay, so here multiplexing and demultiplexing, both processes are shown. This is a multiplexing process and this is a demultiplexing process. So whatever is carried out in demultiplexer is exactly reverse what is carried out in multiplexer. So here you may have three users, that is user 1, user 2 and user 3. Three users are there. Now TDM is a digital multiplexing technique and here three users are shown. As I already told, both processes are shown here, and one important thing you can notice, you can see only one communication channel is available. So each signal will be transmitted for a very short duration of time. Now see, you have different informations over here and that informations will be transmitted for a very short instant of time. Now here you can see just have an identification of colors. User 1 is transmitting in red color, user 2 in green color and user 3 in blue color. Okay, so one cycle or frame you may call it as is said to be completed when all the signals transmit once on the transmission channel. What I said is one cycle or frame is said to be completed when all the signals are transmitted once by the transmission channel. What does this mean? See here, user 1 is here, so this is 1, this is the user 2's first bit and user 3's first bit. So when do we say that one frame is complete? See, one frame means this user 1, user 2 and user 3 all have completed their transmission on a communication channel. The same thing, see, now this is one frame. One frame consists of what? The data by user 1, user 2 and user 3 all have completed. So this is forming one frame. So the same thing is replicated over here over a transmission channel. See, this is by user 1, this is by user 2 and this is by user 3, but still I have marked it as 1 1 1 because this is the first frame. Okay, it is forming the first frame by taking the first bits. Okay, so when all of the users complete their transmission, it is called as one frame. Okay, so the data is there divided into different units then. Okay, like you may have frame 1, frame 2 and frame 3. Now you saw for frame 1, what will be frame 2? See, this will be frame 2. I'll just mark it with red color so that it will be easy for you to identify. So this is frame 2 in red color. All have completed their transmission, that is three different users have completed their transmission, and this is frame 2. Okay, one unit from each user is taken to form a frame. So size of each unit will be same. Size of each unit will be same. So see here, all the units are having same size. That is either it can be 1 bit or more bits. Right now I have considered only 1 bit. So 1 bit from user 1, 1 bit from user 2 and 1 bit from user 3. So they form a frame. You may have more than 1 bits also. So it is called as, so it depends on number of bits you want to transmit. So in TDM, data rate of multiplexed signals is always n times the data rate of the individual sources, where n number of sources are available. So you can just see one more diagram. Here I have shown one example of TDM where there are 4 different users. I am calling them as user A, B, C and D. So this is your information what you want to transmit, and this is a switch. Okay, so each time this switch will be switching to the different position. Time this switch will be switching to the different users, like it will be at user A, user B, user C and user D. Accordingly it is going to move. So when it is at user A, this first bit will be a bit or unit, you may say, it will be transmitted. So I will call it as A1. See here, A1 is transmitted. Now when one frame will get complete, one frame will be completed when all users complete their first unit. So this is the first unit which I have marked. Okay, so this is to be completed in order to form a frame 1. So you have A1, B1, you can see it is coming downward, then C1 and D1. So this is your one frame. This is your one frame. Okay, similarly now you can transmit frame 2, frame 3, frame 4 and so on. In this way the time division multiplexing takes place. So from this diagram what can we conclude? This much amount of time, this whatever I have marked here, this much amount of time was given for the user A to transmit its one unit. Then this second, that is B1, this amount of time was given for the user number 2 to transmit its bit 1, that is unit 1, and so on. So the different time slots are given to each user to transmit their data, and that's the reason we say that multiplexer effectively saves the bandwidth. So this was all about TDM what we saw. In this description you can just see the theoretical points, that is how many number of users you have a single communication link, and how the frames are being divided. Okay, thank you.